Another year, 2025. What is on the docket? What is on my mind? 2025. As I look back at 2024 in the real estate business, look, tough year for people in the real estate business. I get it. Tough year for everybody. If you're a seller, you're like, man, I couldn't even sell because the rates suck to buy another one. If you're a buyer, you're like, affordability sucks. There's no inventory. This is crazy. If you're a realtor, my gosh, nothing to sell, super competitive. The NAR lawsuit, your commission thing's changing. You got all this press. If you're a loan officer, you're dealing with rates, not much refi. You got to work super hard. It's tough out there. I mean, looking back at the numbers, I think in 2020 or 2021, there's over 400,000 loan officers, and now there's around 100,000. So a lot of you got out of the business. I think realtors, I heard a stat the other day that over 50% of you have not even closed one transaction in 2024, which is brutal. But I know a lot of you are part-time, don't work, things like that. But now we got a new administration coming in. Jerome Powell cut rates 100 basis points, but then our mortgage rates went up 100 basis points from where we thought they would be if they're in line. Look, housing prices only in some markets are coming down, not much correction. It's crazy. Stock market's at all-time high. Crypto is all-time high. Inflation's slowly coming down. Unemployment's still doing well. There is just so much going on right now. So I'm ready to jump into it for 2025. I'm going to be quick. I'm going to be brief. And we're going to get down to the nuts, the bolts, what matters, and how I think at the end of the day, this will affect real estate, not affect real estate. And honestly, guys, trying to predict interest rates lately has been trying to predict the next time it's going to snow in San Diego. Okay. That's how I feel. That's how hard it is. And we can go into that as well. But hey, real quick, for those of you who have never met me, my name is Kenny Simpson. I focus on 1 to 4 unit financing. I've done it over 5,000 times. That means I've done 5,000 transactions plus. I'd say stop counting. I probably should figure out how many I've really done. Funded $1 billion of loans. Done this over 20 years. I mentioned I'm a mortgage broker. And if I can help you out, please reach out. And I also create content like this pretty much on a weekly basis. So if you're looking to figure out what is going on out there in our crazy world and how that pertains to real estate, how it affects it, how it makes it better, worse, all that. I break it down for you, try to dumb it down so it makes sense. And on top of that, you can follow me on social over here. And then if you're not on my email game, like if you just found this video randomly, you should go to simpson-team.com, go down there on my website and subscribe to my email. So anyways, folks, let's get back at it. 2025. What are some of the predictions? What's going on? I want to jump into it. So the first thing I'm going to do is talk about what everybody wants to talk about because it's on everybody's mind. It's literally the existence of real estate and its mortgage interest rates. And I wish I had better news. I thought we are going to end this year because based on the Fed's cutting rates, I thought we'd have rates in the 5s. We don't. So mortgage rates did not end the year the way all of us thought. So we're definitely a little bit sad, we're bummed, and I'm kind of like you, very confused of why the 10-year treasury is where it's at and why we cut 100 basis points. We can get into the nitty gritty of that, but I don't want to sit here and go long-winded on that. That's why you got to watch my content weekly because we do go into that. But let's just say interest rates right now are higher than we thought, and it's not good. What could bring interest rates down? As I mentioned in some of my other videos, you can watch, but we're going to have to do with loan level price adjustments, maybe the premium recapture, getting the spread down between the 10-year treasury and 30-year fix, and getting the 10-year treasury down. So out of 4 of those, some of those need to give. Hopefully administration will go look into that. If you don't know what that is, go look some of those up. But also I have other content that you can go look at if you go to my channel that's on there as well. So where do I predict interest rates to be at? Look, I predicted last year that we'd end the year in the 5s. We didn't. We did get there. We did get there before Powell cut. That's where I thought we'd be, but for some reason the rates jacked up. Real quick, why they jacked up is because Trump's going to come in. He's going to cause all this inflation. The economy is doing so great. Consumers are spending money. Everybody's employed. And yeah, everything's groovy. And if you're a small business owner, you're like, what are you talking about? I'm losing money. If you're a restaurant, I'm like, I'm getting crushed out here. If you're the average American, you're like, I can't even afford to pay my bills. So apparently we all live in one world and then the economy lives in another world. And there's all this confusion because everybody's like, what the hell are you talking about? The economy is so good. It seems good, but also, is it really that good? I don't know. Is it really on wobbly legs that can break out quickly? I don't know. So we need to get those interest rates down. I'm hoping out of the 4 things I told you that Trump and his team will focus on, but I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful this next year we will see interest rates in the 5s. We really do, or we're going to start having major problems in real estate. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody's doing anything to solve it. No, we don't need the Feds to keep cutting rates. No, we don't need the Feds to buy mortgage-backed securities. We just need to look into the spread between the 10-year and 30-year fix. Can we bring more confidence in there to bring that down? Look at the LLPAs that Fannie and Freddie are making record profits, literally $20 billion on half the volumes. That means they're charging people more money for a loan. What? Why? Why do you need, let's get that down. And then there's premium recapture, where that's another thing is you can read more about, talk about, you can look it up, we can bring rates down. If I did all this math and just fix some of these items, we're talking at least 100 basis points or more, 1.5 points in interest rates down like that. That's not the 10-year moving. That's not buying back mortgage securities. That's nothing, folks. We don't even need to do that stuff right now. The 10-year, if the economy keeps slowing, will gradually come down maybe to 3.85. If you got that, we're in the 5s. We're not asking for rates in the 3s and the 4s. We're asking for interest rates in the 5s. I don't think it's out of touch. I think it's good because the housing market is hurting and you need it. I know the Feds want to focus on all this other stuff, but they just don't seem to care that housing's hurting. And so it's ridiculous. So what is my prediction for rates? And hopefully we will get those rates down in the 5s. And if we do, for commercial and residential, party on, let's go, and we'll take it. Supply, still weak and going to continue to be weak. We cannot build our way out of this. The quick fix for supply is, you've heard many different ways around this, but it's like whether it's housing, there's people that are sitting on vacant houses they rent, they would sell, and they don't want to sell because they don't want to pay the taxes or deal with it. But if we incentivize those individuals, those U.S. homeowners of those properties, which are millions, to say, hey, if you sell it to a first-time home buyer or list it, whatever, we will give you minimal tax, this or that. So coming up with a solution like that. On the rental side, there's like 4 million vacant apartments units across the U.S. that are sitting there. So instead of keep building new units, why don't we just incentivize the people that have those units that are not renting them because they're not getting their number, incentivize them to rent it to somebody. I don't know, you're the government, you're a lot smarter, you should be smarter. Incentivize people to rent out these units. So incentivize them. Incentivize people to sell their homes, incentivize people to rent their units. Incentivize, folks, not rent control, not choke them, not say that you have no rights to the landlord. That doesn't help. Incentivize them. They're landlords trying to provide housing, or they own a house trying to provide housing to first-time home buyer. Help them, incentivize them, build them up, not bash them down, not like you're trash, you're terrible. Because that's what we do in this country. That's literally what we do is you own an apartment building, you're a scumbag. That's how it feels like in California. So why don't we lift the people up? Why don't we incentivize them? And guess what? Did you hear what I said? I didn't mention build new housing, did I? No, the existing housing. Why don't we look at that? Real simple. Incentivize flippers and buy shitty properties and sell them to a first-time home buyer, give them minimal tax something. Like, hello, use our brains, folks. Come on, it's right in front of us. But let's get the politics and all the bullshit, all the lobbyists, all that crap out of the way. And let's focus on you and I, the American people, and how to solve problems. It's very simple if we just get rid of all this shit. Number 3, home values. Look, if you're in Texas, Austin, Florida, certain parts, probably California, wherever, I don't know, every single market, there's some places that are going down. But remember, some of these places went up 70%. Now they're down 20. People are like, wah. You're saying, wow, if you bought at the top of the market. But if you bought a while ago and you're still at 50%, I think that's pretty good by really doing minimal nothing. So anyways, the values nationwide average is saying it's going to continue to go up. Maybe 2-3%, not much, but you're going to continue to see it. Supply will continue to grow though too. If rates come down enough, you'll get people to sell as well. Let's talk about the new administration, Trump coming in. What can he change? Well, number 1, is he going to actually look at housing? He's going to focus on housing. Is he, drill baby drill? If I was the administrator coming in, the new president, here's what I'd focus on with housing. So Trump, if you're listening to this message, number 1, what are we going to do with the insurance problem? It's not going away. So we got to figure that out. Like, everybody's starting to pay the price for these areas that have outlining scary things. So do we need to start carving different places out of the country where everybody else doesn't get hurt? Yeah, I'm in California, we're paying higher, but you live somewhere where nothing ever happens. You're paying more premium because of me, or Florida. So let's focus on insurance. Number 2, on supply. I just told you how to do that. There's all the renters, the people that own. Incentivize the people that already are sitting on property to rent them, to sell them, whatever, through tax breaks, not raping them. Make them out to be good people, not bad people. Number 3, rates. I've literally have another video where I'm talking about Fannie and Freddie making record profits. So look at Fannie and Freddie. Do they really need to make $20 billion? Do you need these LLPAs to go high? Premium recapture, get the spreads down. Let's focus on those things right now, right? Bring confidence in the market. So are you going to just, is everything going to go inflation, going to go skyrocketing high, whatever? That's why the 10 years higher, all this information, right? How about we have accurate job reporting, right? So we don't have $1 million jobs we thought we had that we didn't have because that affects rates. So look at these things, folks. It's very simple. Look at them, figure out a solution. I don't think we need to be raping people on all these hits so the government makes more money. That's inflationary. Trump obviously incentivized bring down regulations, incentivize builders to keep building, regulators, stuff like that. So get in there and kill these regulations, make it easier to build. Place like California, adding the ADUs, adding those additional units, that's being helpful. Department of Doge, I'm going to be looking for them to see how they're going to cut costs, make the government more efficiency. Maybe there'll be efficiencies within the government that focus on housing that we can add more programs, make it more efficient, so it'd bring the cost down. And maybe there's something there that you and I don't know that Doge is going to see that's going to tremendously help out the housing market, or make sure we have the right people in place that are not incentivized by re-election or lobbyists or buying them off to be in position of power that are actually going to make changes. So Doge, I'm excited to see what you do, how you come in and cut costs, get rid of the fraud, the waste, and see how that can help housing. I don't have 100% ideas yet, but they might come in and announce some fraud housing, this, that, which could scare Wall Street, which can scare a little bit of the Feds, which could basically make the 10-year treasury go down and help interest rates in the short term. In the overall economy, Jerome Powell that cuts rates, he'll continue to cut rates a little bit next year. It depends on obviously jobs, inflation, how the consumer is doing, things like that. So the economy, if the economy gets slower, rates will go down. That will help housing, but also people could lose their jobs. So that means either some people are going to have to sell their homes or they're going to remain renters. So more people would struggle in that way. But if job markets keep slowing, inflation gets closer and closer to 2, the Fed start talking more and more dovish and hawkish, that could lower interest rates quicker, and we could see the path of getting there. I read a lot, I watch a lot, and I know that eventually, guys, rates will eventually come down. I'm not saying 2-3%, but I think we would have government loans, FHA, VA in the 4s, and Fannie and Freddie in the 5s, jumbo and probably the 5s, 4s, non-QM probably somewhere in the 6s, along with investment property. So that's where I think we would end up landing once this plane lands, once we get all this stuff settled. The one thing I will tell you when it comes to housing and rates and all that nobody really talks about as well is the government is continuing to spend a lot of money we don't have. They're continuing to be the biggest hirer. So if the government actually does cause like a pause or a pullback in spending, you will see a significant, I think it could be a little significant change in the government where they're not the biggest hirer in spending. We would see a change. And so that could bring interest rates down as well. So the government has been pretty much helping prop up this economy, because if they were not hiring like they are and spending money, we'd be in a different place with rates and the overall economy and the Fed's mindset as well. So ending 2025, I think is going to be very much similar to 2024. Interest rates are going to be a little rocky. Obviously have a new administration coming in. That's going to be significant. I think they're going to come in with guns blazing, missiles firing, just coming in, making quick changes. You've already saw how they didn't want to pass the bill. I think they're going to be coming in and trying to revitalize the U.S. government, come into where they can make it more efficient, using technology, getting rid of people. Do we need 50 people to do one job? Efficient, cut the cost, the fraud, stop sending money out to everywhere that shouldn't be going, and just paying attention. So I think this administration will come in, pay attention, but they're going to make a lot of announcements. So I'm excited for 2025. I just hope we can get those rates down, affordability up, and work on some more inventory for everybody out there to buy. And so the sellers are stuck, the buyers that want to buy are stuck, and we need to get them unstuck, and lower rates will definitely help that equation. So anyways, folks, thanks so much for watching. That is my 2025 kind of prediction. So market will be similar to 2024. And once Trump gets in, announce all the stuff, definitely I'll give an updated video on what the hell that means, how it could affect us. Maybe it's affecting us right there in the moment. But anyways, Happy New Year to you. Best wishes for 2025. And hey, if me, my team can help you out, come on now. You know how to reach me. Reach out anytime. Set a call up, call me, text me, email me, stop by. We moved offices recently last year. We're over here in La Jolla. I love it. And come by, say hi. Anyways, thanks so much. Wish you nothing but the best. Hope you had great holidays and look forward to talking and seeing you in the new year.